I'm Butch Grove. I'm the project manager for the Code Green SIP. This will be an update. If you want to know more, this is a tease for the afternoon session. So if you want to know more, a breakout session at 2 o'clock, creating a sustainable curriculum. I'm going to go more into the background and how this thing got started. And the #1 slide on that is support. And this initiative has enjoyed widespread support from Dr. Scott Rawls, Assistant President, the North Carolina Presidents Association, the state board for the community college system, and Dr. Rose Johnson and Rusty Stevens. Dr. Rusty Stevens have both been champions of this. So support is the key thing, and we've enjoyed that. And so that's helped us move this initiative just on a very fast track and make a lot of progress in a short amount of time. So, Dr. Johnson mentioned the 5 sectors: environment, building, engineering, technology, and energy. I want the sector directors to stand up. They're in the back of the room. Rosemary Seymour from Central Piedmont Community College is leading the effort with the engineering technology. Holly Weir, raise your hand, from Davidson County Community College is leading the Environment Initiative. Rob Holston from Wilson is leading the Building Initiative. And Chris English from Blue Ridge Community College is doing our transportation. And Andy McMahon is about to walk through the door. He's a tall guy with a beard. And when you see him, he is leading our Energy Initiative. So he's just flying in from Sanford, if you will. So this is our timeline. I know this is difficult to see, but if you look at the top line here, basically the first year of the project, July 2010 through June 2011, we have been focused primarily on curriculum development. That involves planning, engaging the faculty, looking at and identifying program relationships to one another, how various related programs work together, what they share in common. We've been developing curriculum structures and curriculum standards. Again, I'll go into some of that in more detail this afternoon, but I'll show you some examples of our work product to date in the next several slides. And we've been trying to identify, develop, and integrate green and sustainable skills technologies into courses. That's kind of where we're at right now. This is March, so we're through the development, we're a good way into the development process for our curriculum standards, and we are also, I like having the screen so close by, and we're also beginning in that first part of the process of identifying and doing skills gap analysis. What are we teaching? What's needed for the green workforce? And where are the gaps at? Where we need to close those gaps. One thing that I want to keep iterating is all of these committees have widespread industry support. They all have an industry advisory committee, and so we're getting input not only from faculty, but from the folks that are going to hire our students. Okay? And I know a lot of you have been working with the SIPs. How many folks in here are SIP participants? Raise your hand. Oh, great. So I'm preaching to the choir. Okay. How many are Code Green implementers? Great. Okay. Good. So I think that's a testimony in of itself. You guys come back to hear more and more about Code Green. We haven't overstated. The second year, well, actually this summer and the second year, we're going to focus mostly on professional development and then wrap up a lot of the work that was done the first year. Get those curriculum standards, the courses that have been modified, the new courses, all through the process at the system office, which is not an easy task in and of itself. This is a definition that I got from Andy McMahon. Is he in here? Did Andy make it in? So I'm going to give him credit for this. That's the second time I've given him credit. I'll probably do that twice more and then I'll claim it for myself. But I really like this definition, and it describes that the SIP will be successful if 5, 10, you pick the number, years from now, there's not a group of people sitting around at a conference like this trying to invent green solutions to what we're doing today. We'll be successful if we do that, right? So if we can create a flexible program structure that can adapt to technologies that we're not aware of today, or that might just be emerging, or technologies that are still in competition with one another and the winner hasn't been identified yet. And we can integrate those into our curriculums that we're building now, we will be successful. For example, Andy and his group in the energy sector are looking at HVAC curriculum. If 5 years from now, we're not sitting around and trying to invent HVAC for ground source heating, or trying to reinvent HVAC for some other technology that might come along, we will have been successful, in my opinion. This is one measure of success. This isn't the only measure of success. We're being measured, our work is being measured on a lot of different criteria. So, creating a flexible program structure is what you guys are doing so that you can adapt and we don't have to keep reinventing the wheel every 3, 5, 10 years for new technologies. The other thing that we need to do in order to make this definition happen is change how we apply for new programs, how we create new programs, how we create new courses. So if you've spent any time looking in the combined, I'm still in Common Course Library, the combined course library, and if you start reading many course descriptions, you'll be like Yogi Berra, deja vu again. There's a lot of descriptions that are very similar in there. There are closely related programs. So if we can change how we're doing the program application process to make it easier for colleges to get programs on their campus and deliver them, and incorporate new technologies under the curriculum standards that we're developing, I think, again, we'll be successful. Okay, so I want to give you a couple examples of work product that we've done to date and just show you what some of those results look like. I'll go through these fairly quickly. And if you want to know more, kind of the background story, we'll cover that at 2 o'clock. But Holly, in the environment sector, who's all in the environment sector? A few folks here? Okay. Yeah, James is on that. A few more. They've got, we call this the jellyfish. Okay. So this is a model of a curriculum. This one happens to be called, tentatively right now, it's being proposed as Environmental Technologies. There's a general education core that cuts across all of these various tracks or emphasis areas, as we're calling them. There's a technical core, and then there's some additional classes that are specific to these curricula and to those over here. Okay, so that's the one, the jellyfish for Environment Technology. There's another one for Applied Animal Science. Actually, I think the group has now taken this one and splitting that into 2. Agriculture Studies, a very similar kind of setup. General Ed, Technical Core, and then the various concentrations. That's a word that we use in the community college system. We're trying to use emphasis, not to confuse concentrations, because concentrations, as you may or may not know, have been used to, you can only offer a class unique to that concentration, so it's been used to kind of claim ownership of some classes, so we're using a slightly different term.